Is back in familiar territory. The Hawks have marched right on through the playoffs after a 56-27 win over the Monarch Coyotes. The Hawks are back in the state semifinals for the third year in a row now and are knocking on the door of another trip to the state championship game. It's been smooth sailing for the Hawks so far. In their first two playoff matchups, the Hawks have scored 55 and 56 points, which is really something they've been doing all season long. Not only is Montrose undefeated, they've eclipsed the half-century mark in half of their games, doing it 6 times in their 12 wins so far this season. But now, in their last game in Montrose this season, the Hawks will get matched up with one of the few teams that on paper look like they have a chance of slowing down the Hawks' high-octane offense. The Hawks will be facing off with the undefeated Palmer Ridge Bears, the number 3 team in the Class 4A bracket. Montrose is the 2nd overall seed. The Bears just had a big-time win in their quarterfinal game, ousting the reigning class champion Broomfield Eagles, and did so convincingly, winning 45-27. Now for the part I was driving about how on paper the Bears have a resume that potentially points to them being able to slow down the Montrose machine. Palmer Ridge's defense has been particularly stout all season long. They've held opponents to just 7 points or less in 8 of those 12 wins they have on their record, 2 of those being shutouts. If you want to play the common opponent game to figure out which of these teams might have the edge, both these teams have played Mesa Ridge, Doherty, and Durango this season. Since the 2 teams are undefeated, if you do some quick math, you'll arrive that all those games have been victories for these 2 teams. However, for the Bears, they've actually played Mesa Ridge twice, and after beating Mesa Ridge 35-7 earlier this season, they got into a bit of a dogfight, needing a defensive stand with just a minute or so left in the game in the first round of the playoffs to take down Mesa Ridge the second time, 19-6. Here's what the Hawks head coach and quarterback had to say about their next opponent following that win over Monarch.
Yeah, they're always a great team. They're always top contending, so we're going to have to work hard over Thanksgiving break, really dive in on film and practice and work hard and get a good game plan and get ready to go for them.
We're just going to have to get what we get here and go over it. But, in the Final Four and the semifinals, obviously you're down to the cream of the crop. And, there's obviously as good as anybody in the state. And, we're fortunate enough to be able to get them here on our field. And so it's going to be one heck of a matchup. I know that. And we're looking forward to having them.
That game in Montrose will kick off Saturday at 1. That'll do it for your look at sports. We'll be right back.